Hey everybody, my name is Deron Wilson, and today I am here chatting with Doug Jeffrey and Rafael Loza, the founders and creators of the Imperio Real Tequila. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for coming.
Glad to be here.
Ready to drink some tequila? I think it's a little too early.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
There you go.
It's never
So
too
they
late.
say.
Too early.
Let's start with how you guys met. 41 Sets is where you guys are currently working. And what is 41 Sets?
41 Sets is a design set construction company that I started when I was 41 years old. And Rafael, how many years ago has it been?
10, 12.
Yeah, started working with me, and the story I love to tell is like I'm the owner of a football team, and I'm looking for my franchise quarterback. Once I found this guy, I was working on The Biggest Loser, and I needed some help, and had the pleasure of hooking up with Rafael, and the rest is history. He worked with me for 4 or 5 years, and he's a partner now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And you guys built sets for some pretty...
Yeah, we do
famous.
a little bit of everything. We recently just did, who was it, Ref? Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys, yes. It was
Yeah.
an interesting set that we built for her.
Yeah, a lot of commercials, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, a little bit of everything. We had that conversation earlier this morning when you were setting up. Homecoming.
Right.
We're doing some stuff for Julia Roberts' new show.
Mhm.
So we're a little bit all over the place. And, it's just... I think we're both cut out of the same mold. It's just that creativity. We like to create. And, when Raf brought the tequila idea to me, I'm like, wow, that sounds fun. And this is something he's been working on for how many years?
12 years, something like that.
Yeah.
That I've been working, with this crazy idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who creates a tequila brand? How do you create a tequila brand?
Well, apparently you guys do. So let's transition to the Imperio Real. You were telling me that you started it about 10, 12 years ago now. And is
Yes.
this a passion project, something you've always wanted to do?
It was interesting, my my story with tequila, because I've been involved in the agave plantations, walking through rows and rows of agave plants, and talking to people that know about tequila, and I've probably visited 30 plus distilleries. And little by little, I started paying attention to what makes a good tequila. And the only thing that I noticed is that there wasn't a brand that really recognized this spirit as a true, product. I saw a lot of whiskeys and a lot of spirit we're getting a lot of talk and a lot of recognition, and there wasn't a tequila brand that had that sort of richness, that sort of quality.
Tequila just made a resurgence. I mean, tequila wasn't one of the whiskeys or the scotches, the high-end thing until how many years ago? I mean, 10, 15 years ago. Now, everybody is attaching to
It was like
tequila.
12, 13 years ago when
Yeah.
Patron started, and
Well, the grandpappy of them all.
But that was the main thing that I noticed, that brand that started pushing the premium tequilas out there.
Tequila's definitely got a unique flavor. You either like it or you don't, no matter what shelf you're pulling it from. I'm a fan of tequila, and I don't shoot it. I sip it.
Yeah.
Like a good whiskey. So
Yeah, I mean, I was a wine drinker for years. I mean, I started out, when I was younger, I only, used to drink white, and I used to get my chops busted all the time. Then I switched to red, and I became a big fan of red wine. And then, with Raf, he got me hooked on tequila, and I love. I just love the taste, the experience of something that really, and the more that I get into it, all the complex characteristics of what it is just really kind of cool.
Well, let's go there because I do not know the process of making tequila. So, what would you classify yours as? As a reposado, a mezcal, or?
Well,
where does
you're
it
talking
fall?
about two different products here.
Okay.
Mezcal it's distilled outside the CRT protected tequila area in Mexico. Tequila it can only be grown, can only be produced in like 4 states in Mexico, and they're regulated by a legal Mexican entity. And tequila is made out of blue agave, that only species of agave. And it's a very nice and interesting process. Everything starts with the agave, between 6.5, 7 years old,
7 years.
agave. And,
You had a crop that you were.
Yes, I even grew my own field of agave. Yes,
And we were
no
talking
kidding.
because I wanted to experience the whole thing. Not only trying to sell a brand. I went to zero. I started from zero totally.
Well, and it's a commodity. We were just talking about this the other day because, when you did your thing, the price was down low.
Yeah, I literally lost money when that happened.
Yeah, but in this day and age right now, if you would have had what he had, it did millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, I would have made $3 million in my plantation.
So, do you own your own plantation?
I sold
still?
it. I sold it because they
Okay.
had to be harvested, and I sold it all because I didn't have my project developed to that point where I could bottle my own, so I had to sell it. But then I kept on working as a hobby. Let's call it a hobby that I had, and I was
Passion.
working little by little from designing the bottle
Mm-hmm.
made out of MDF, carved by hand by myself, thinking about why do I want those lines in the bottle? Why do I want the shape? What does it mean to have a shield on the bottle? That's my mom's shield, coat of arms, by the way.
We'll post some pictures on social media for what he's holding up right now, the bottle design and the shield that he's talking about. It's pretty damn cool, actually.
Yeah, it's actually my mom's last name. And my uncle, who is a master jeweler in Guadalajara.
Okay.
And me and him came up with this crazy idea. What if we do this? And me and him came up with that original idea that you're looking at right here.
Okay.
And everything evolved from there. We went through a lot of R&D.
Yeah, generations of trying to create this and how to mass
Yes.
produce it. I mean, it's really been a challenge, but with anything, you just learn so much about it. And from our background, the crazy things that we do, it's like, you want this? How in the hell are we going to do that?
Yeah.
Because of what we've learned over the years, it's just one of those things. Oh yeah, we'll do that. We'll make that.
Yeah.
Make it work. Yeah.
Yes.
I had that idea, and I came across a lot of problems, manufacturing problems. We had to do a lot of R&D to be able to have our final pieces.
This was printed, right? This was
Yeah, that was a 3D printed
3D
piece.
print that basically got us to the next step, and so on down the line as far as being able to get something that works.
They actually 3D scanned the bottle, just the glass,
Mm-hmm.
and they did this magic thing using this program to be able to actually see this piece being manufactured and fit it in the bottle to make sure that it was going to work out and
Right.
it followed the line.
Yeah, the shape of the bottle.
Yeah.
And so when they go together, there's a male and a female, and
Right.
it snaps so clean and so perfect. I mean, this is a bottle that even when you're done with the tequila,
You're going to keep
you're
it.
going to keep it. It's
Yeah.
something. There's so much love and passion put into the design and the history of this.
And that information, I'm sorry,
Go, please.
That information
You
is gonna
all the time.
be-
Feel free.
in the included in the packaging, so people really
The
understand.
history of.
Yes, how it became
Okay.
a unique piece. Not just, I don't have a name behind me. I don't have a whole lot of money behind me, but I got knowledge and passion.
You've got, passion.
Yeah, and I know how to pay attention to all those little details from growing the agave to the final product, the presentation, and
the
all
QC
that.
along
Yeah,
the
it's.
way and
Yeah,
I mean, I can talk for hours about everything I've done, I've tried, and what works.
I've got a lot of SD cards, so talk away.
yeah, but now it's, as I said earlier, that tequila became the cool thing for celebrities and whatever to
Sure.
do, whether if it's a tax write-off or just another promotion. And what makes a really premium tequila? I mean, what defines, what separates a taste of royalty, something that there's heart and soul, there's passion,
Right.
and just the sheer knowledge and understanding every element of this process. And with Rafael, that's why I was like so excited to jump aboard on this, because I'm like, we want to make something different. It's not just put my name on it, sell it. It's got it's going to be special, and that's really what we're banking on. The true tequila connoisseurs, once they taste this and they see the presentation, it's everything. It's just going to all come together, and they'll appreciate the
value,
the value that
Yes.
the heart that's been put into this.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't claim to be a tequila expert. I do enjoy it. So
Does it make you crazy? Because people hear stories about, I drink tequila.
I've known it to make people crazy, but no, I haven't.
Because they drink the cheap stuff.
Well, it depends what you start with too. If you're crazy before you buy the bottle, then
Yeah, I only like
drinking
it.
it's not gonna.
I only like it straight. I mean, as
Right.
I said, I like to taste it. I like to smell it.
Me too.
It was funny when we were, the process of formulating the juice, and at La Cofradia, the distillery that we partnered up with to do this. You talk about a process of sitting there. The chemist comes out, gives us, all the, our tequilas, and you swirl it, you smell it, you taste it, all the intricate notes that we're looking for. The chemist is looking at Rafael like,
Maybe they're not used to people getting to that commitment level in the formulation of the tequila, because I'm like, I know what I want. I know how I want the tequila to taste. I know how I want it to look in your tongue and the color. Why do I want those flavors? Where those flavors are going to come from? All of that. I mean, it was a long process for me. Like I said, I mean, it was 10 years, but I was learning little by little. And up to today, I mean, I'm not done learning. I'm learning every single day, and I always read or watch something that has to do with tequila.
So when the agave is picked, what's the next step? How is tequila made?
Well, when agave is harvested, when it's like 7 years old, it gets cooked in masonry. We cook it in masonry ovens for 72 hours. There's different ways of doing it, of cooking the agave, just like anything else. Like when you do a New York steak, or how do you want yours? How do you want to cook it? How do you want to marinate it? It's the same deal with
and it's
agave.
subjective. I mean,
And
Sure.
we do it using masonry ovens for 72 hours. When you get that agave out of the ovens, it's kind of like almost shredding itself. It's so, soft and that's what you want. You want to concentrate that richness.
Yeah,
it's almost like candy coming out of the oven. All the sugar. It's
for an agave that weighs 150 pounds, roughly, you're getting 2.5 gallons of juice, which is interesting when you think about the entire process.
Yes.
Yeah, which is so. These things they're huge. 150 pound agave. they once it goes through the process, you're getting 2.5 gallons. So,
Okay.
you start to do the math on that, how many of these you actually really need to create tequila.
And from harvest to bottling, how long does it take to
Bottling. Well, once you
get there?
shred the agave after it's cooked, you need to ferment it.
Okay.
You ferment it using the yeast to transform the sugar into alcohol.
Okay.
And that process is very,
And definitely don't give away your secrets.
of course not. I'm just giving you, general,
General.
Stuff you can find
ideas.
on the internet.
Yes, exactly. But we try to pay attention to even our yeast cultures that we use. It's natural cultures that they use. I mean, very, secret formulas that we got. And from there, we get this agave juice, if you want to call it that way. It's called mosto. That mosto goes through the distillation process twice. I like doing it twice because you hear a lot of talk about the third distillation and blah, 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 to soften it. If you think about whoever understands the process of distillation, the distillation is just to basically to concentrate the alcohol level in that liquid, that agave liquid, right?
Okay.
So the more you distill it, the more you concentrate it, what are you getting? Just alcohol, honestly.
Better, more pure alcohol.
Well,
Yeah,
but
when
it
you
becomes
taste it, you don't want like that's what I'm learning now. I'm into tequila. When you take that first sip, you don't want the alcohol to hit you. You want the flavor,
Right.
of the agave to hit you.
yes, and I'd rather use the two distillation process because I believe based on what I've seen and what I've tried, it gives you the better flavor, better body. I mean, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Two distillation process. During the distillation process, there's a sequence. The beginning of the distillation process is called heads. That contains harsh chemicals and high alcohols and all of that. That's what you get. That's why you get headaches. We get rid of that part and we use the hard part of the distillation process. That's
Okay.
a good part. We discard heads and tails, which is the end of that process. The heart is distilled once again, and the same thing
Okay.
happens. So you're getting the purest part of the process.